Jai Sapadika Shri Guru Gaurachandra Ju Ki Jai. Jai Shri Giriraj Govardhan Ju Ki Jai. Jai Vishnupad Paramhansa Parivrajaka Astatara Sutta Śrīman Śrīla Bhakti Sundar Govindadev Goswami Mahārāj Ki Jai. Jai Vishnupad Paramhansa Parivrajaka Astatara Sutta Śrīman Śrīla Bhakti Rakha Śrīdhar Goswami Mahārāj Ki Jai. Welcome to Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Mission morning class. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Chita Parakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavangscha Shri Rūpam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatam Vitangstam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahakana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vidangscha Om Ajnanatirmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Svapadantikam. Jai Śrīmatī Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Jai all those wonderful personalities Ki Jai. Continuing to read Sri Chaitanya Charitāmṛta, chapter 17. We're now reading, verse number 62. Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhaktivinoda Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Ki Jai Srila Om Vishnupad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. So I didn't leave any time there for response. Text 62. Is Krishnananda Prabhu gone?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know.
Shane ke Prabhura Bhakya Haila Swarupere Agya Dila Swarupa Kichakara Madhura Gana Swarupa Gaya Vidyapati Gita Govinda Giti Shuni Prabhura Jadai Lakhana. Suddenly Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned to external consciousness and said to Swarup Damodar Goswami, "My dear Swarup, please sing some sweet songs." The Lord's ears were satisfied when he heard Swarup Damodar sing songs from the Gita Govinda and those by the poet Vidyapati. Mata Mahaprabhu Pratiratri Dine Unmada Chestita Hoy Pralapa Vachane. Each day and night Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would become deranged in this way and talk like a madman. Ekadine Jata Hoy Bhavera Vikara Sahasra Mukhe Varne Jadi Nahi Paya Para. Even Anantadev, who possesses thousands of mouths, cannot fully describe the ecstatic transformations that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu experienced in a single day. We pretty much have to do the same thing over and over again to enjoy mundane existence with a tiny little bit of variety. Maybe a mountain shaped like this instead of a mountain shaped like this, and we have to get really excited about it. And I'm not trying to be, cruel or cynical. I'm looking at my own nature. But these pastimes in a single day, actually even in a moment, as we've heard in other places, they're infinite. There's no way to even begin to describe them. And anyway, we're just getting a little bit of a hint. Jiva dina ki karibeta haravarnana shaka chandra nyaya kari digdarashana. What can a poor creature like me describe of those transformations? I can give only a hint of them, as if showing the moon through the branches of a tree. Very nice. So, in relation to this world, this is there, giving some reference. Iha jeshu netara judaya manakana aulaukika gudgudha prema cheshtahaya jnana. This description, however, will satisfy the ears of anyone who hears it, and he will be able to understand these uncommon activities of deep ecstatic love for Kṛṣṇa. So that's a benediction. Adbhuta niguddha premera madhurya mahima apaniyasvari prabhude kaila sima. Ecstatic love for Kṛṣṇa is wonderfully deep. By personally tasting the glorious sweetness of that love, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed us its extreme limit. Otherwise, how would we know anything? We wouldn't even have the slightest reference to those pastimes. Adbhuta dayalu Chaitanya adbhuta vadaya aiche dayalu data loke nahi shunyanya. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is wonderfully merciful and wonderfully magnanimous. We have heard of no one else within this world so merciful and charitable. As we come to hear more and more about the pastimes of Mahaprabhu, then we can begin to understand how charitable and magnanimous he is. There's no one else who can possibly give what he's giving, and he's giving it so completely, without restriction. Sarva bhave pajjaloka chaitanya charana jaha hoite paive Kṛṣṇa premamrita dana. O people of the world, worship the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in all respects. Only in this way will you achieve the nectarian treasure of ecstatic love for Kṛṣṇa. Eta kahilo kurma krita anubhava unmada chestita tate unmada pralapa. Thus I have described Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's ecstatic transformation of becoming like a tortoise. In that ecstasy he talked and acted like a madman. E līlās vagrante raghunatha dasa Gauranga stava kalpa vrikshe kairachena prakasha. Śrīla Raghunath Goswāmī has fully described this pastime in his book Gauranga Stava Kalpa Vriksha. Anudgatya dvara trayam urucha iti trayam maho vilangyo chai kalingika surabhimajje nipatita tanujat sankochat kamata iva Kṛṣṇoru virahad virajan gaurango hridaya udayan mamadayati. How wonderful it is! Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left his residence without opening the 3 strongly bolted doors, one after another. Then he crossed over 3 high walls, and later, because of strong feelings of separation from Kṛṣṇa, he fell down amidst the cows of the Chailanga district and retracted all the limbs of his body like a tortoise. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who appeared in that way, rises in my heart and maddens me. Śrī Rūpa Raghunatha Padejara Asha Asha Śrī Chaitanya Charitāmṛta Kahe Krishna Dasa. Praying at the lotus feet of Śrī Rupa and Śrī Raghunath, always desiring their mercy, I, Krishna Das, narrate Śrī Chaitanya Charitāmṛta, following in their footsteps. Thus in the Bhaktivedanta purports to Śrī Chaitanya Charitāmṛta Antya Līlā, 17th chapter, describing Śrī Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime of retracting his limbs like a tortoise. So we're remembering that this is the Antya Līlā. Mahaprabhu is not so much going out with the public now. These are the later pastimes where he's really restricting his association with his intimate friends and just coming for his own internal purpose, which is to understand the wonder and dignity and divine love of Sri Radhika and what is within him that she has found that he doesn't even know about. What is it that in me that she finds so attractive? What is the nature of her love, the glories of her love, all these things. So now Mahaprabhu is now coming for his own purpose. He's now fulfilling that purpose. Rescuing the Lord from the sea. A summary of the 18th chapter is given by Srila Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākur in his Amrita Pravaha Pasya. On an autumn evening when the moon was full, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu walked along the seashore near the Aitota temple. Mistaking the sea for the Jamuna river, he jumped into it hoping to see the water pastimes of Kṛṣṇa enjoyed with Śrīmati Radharani and the other gopis. As he floated in the sea, however, he was washed away to the Konarka temple, where a fisherman, thinking that the Lord's body was a big fish, of course this is at night, caught him in his net and brought him ashore. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was unconscious, and his body had become unusually transformed. As soon as the fisherman touched the Lord's body, he became mad in ecstatic love of Kṛṣṇa. His own madness frightened him, however, because he thought that he was being haunted by a ghost. As he was about to seek a ghost charmer, he met Śrīdhar Goswāmī and the other devotees on the beach who had been looking everywhere for the Lord. After some inquiries, Śrīdhar could understand that the fisherman had caught Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his net. Since the fisherman was afraid of being haunted by a ghost, Śrīdhar gave him a slap and chanted, he's saying, I'm an exorcist, I'm a ghost charmer, I can take him out of you. And he gave him a slap. And chanted Hare Krishna, which immediately pacified him. Thereafter, when the devotees chanted the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra loudly, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to his external consciousness and they brought him back to his own residence. Shara Jyotsna Sindor Avakalanai Naya Jata Jamuna. Sorry, this is very bad reading. Saraj Jyotsna Sindor Avakalanaya Jata Jamuna Pramad Bhavanjosmin Hari Virahat Taparnavaiva Nimagno Murchala Payasi Nivasan Ratrim Akilam Prabhate Prapta Swar Avatu Sashachi Sinurihanaha. In the brilliant autumn moonlight, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mistook the sea for the river Jamuna. Greatly afflicted by separation from Kṛṣṇa, he ran and dove into the sea and remained unconscious in the water the entire night. In the morning he was found by his personal devotees. May that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the son of Mother Shachi, protect us by his transcendental pastimes. These pastimes will give us protection if we are in a prayerful mood and approaching this in a very humble way. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhaktivinoda. All glories to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All glories to Nityananda Prabhu. All glories to Advaita Acharya. And all glories to all the devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. E mate Mahaprabhu nila chale vaise Ratri dine Kṛṣṇa vichedar navevase vichedar navevase. While thus living in Jagannath Puri, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu floated all day and night in an ocean of separation from Kṛṣṇa. Sharat kalera ratri shabachandrika ujjvala Prabhu nija ganalanya bedanna ratri shakala. During a night of the autumn season, when a full moon brightened everything, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wandered all night long with his devotees. Ujjane ujjane brahmena kautuka dekite Rasa līlā gita shloka padite shrunite. He walked from garden to garden, seeing the pastimes of Lord Kṛṣṇa and hearing and reciting songs and verses concerning the Rasa Līlā. Pramo prema veshe karena ganna nartana Kabu bhava veshe Rasa Līlā nukarana. He sang and danced in ecstatic love, and sometimes imitated the rasa dance in emotional ecstasy. Kabu bhavon mare prabhu iti utidaya, pume padi kabu murcha kabu gadijaya. He sometimes ran here and there in the madness of ecstasy, and sometimes fell and rolled on the ground. Sometimes he became completely unconscious. Rasa Līlā eka shloka jabe padeshune purvavata bearta karena apane. When he heard Swarup Damodar recite a verse concerning the Rasa Līlā, or he himself recited one, he would personally explain it as he had previously done. E mata rasa līlāya haya yatta shloka sabara artha kare paya kabuharsha shoka. In this way he explained the meaning of all the verses concerning the Rasa Līlā. Sometimes he would be very sad and sometimes happy. E shaba shlokera artha se shaba vikhara Se Shabhavarnite Grantahaya Ati Vishtara. To explain fully all these verses and all the transformations that took place in the Lord's body would require a very large volume. Dvadasha Vatsare Checheli Lakshanikshane Ati Bahurya Bhaye Grantana Kailulikane. So as to not increase the size of this book, I have not written about all the Lord's pastimes, for he performed them at every moment of every day for 12 years. Purvete dekanachi digdarashana taiche janiha Vikara Pralapa Varnana. As I have previously indicated, I am describing the mad speeches and bodily transformations of the Lord only in brief. Sahasha Vadane Jabe Kahaye Ananta Akadinera līlā tabu nahi payanta. If Ananta, with his 1,000 hoods, tried to describe even one day's pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he would find them impossible to describe fully. Very important to kind of try to conceive of this, at least in the 10th sense, of the divine pastimes of the Lord. There's no question of putting them within the box of description. It's not possible. They are all of an infinite quality. And so Ananta Shesha, who's always chanting the glories of the Lord with his thousands of mouths, cannot keep up. Not at all. Even, describing the qualities of the Lord. Even to describe the form of the Lord is not possible. So we're just getting some kind of indication. Koti yuga paryanta jadilikaye ganesha akadinera līlā tabunahi pai shesha. If Ganesh, Lord Shiva's son, and the expert scribe of the demigods, scribe means he's writing things down, tried for millions of millenniums to fully describe one day of the Lord's pastimes, he would be unable to find their limit. But we just read, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj was saying that the Lord is so merciful that it is possible one day to have some vision of the Lord's pastimes, actual pastimes. So we are going on in our full attempt to try to become conscious of the Lord in a complete surrendered mood of service. And whatever that is, that is their business. Whatever will come to us, whatever we will be able to perceive or understand, whatever tiny little bit that is all up to them. But they are very, very, very merciful and super friendly to us. Nobody can compare any friendliness that we've ever known with that quality of real good hopes for us. Bhaktera prema vikara dekhi Krishnera chamatkara Krishna jara napaya antake vachara ara. Even Lord Krishna is struck with wonder at seeing the transformation of ecstasies in his devotees. If Krishna himself cannot estimate the limits of some emotions, then how could others? When Krishna saw these manifestations of Śrīmati Radharani's love for him, he was struck with wonder. What to speak of anyone else being able to describe them? Bhakta premara jata dasa je gati prakara jata dukkha jata sukha jate ka vikara Krishna ta samyak na pare janite bhakta bhava angikare taha asvadite. Krishna himself cannot fully understand the conditions, the modes of progress, the happiness and unhappiness, and the moods of ecstatic love of his devotees. That is terra incognito, not known. That is the serving potency, and chiefly Hladini Shakti. That's not his department. He's the supreme enjoyer But the joy of devotion to him, he doesn't know that as Krishna. Therefore he's taking his form as Mahaprabhu, Rasaraj Mahabhav, joined. He therefore accepts the role of a devotee to taste these emotions fully. Krishnera nachaya prema bhaktere nachaya apane nachaye tine nacha akatanyi. Ecstatic love of Krishna makes Krishna and his devotees dance, and it also dances personally. In this way, all three dance together in one place. Did you catch that? Okay, this is a little less interesting, but ecstatic love of Krishna, I'm joking. Ecstatic love of Krishna makes Krishna and his devotees dance. And it also dances personally. Ecstatic love dances personally. In this way, all three dance together in one place. Prema ravikara varnite chahi jai jana chanda darite chahi jaina hanya vamana. Nice to hear this word, because tomorrow is the appearance day of Vamana Day. One who wants to describe the transformations of ecstatic love of Krishna, one who wants to describe the transformations of ecstatic love of Krishna is like a dwarf trying to catch the moon in the sky. Vayu yaiche sindhu jalera hare akana Krishna prema kana taiche jivara sparshana. As the wind can carry away but a drop of the water of the ocean, a living entity can touch only a particle of the ocean of love of Krishna. But as we were saying, a drop of the ocean of Krishna will drown you in joyfulness. Kshane kshane ute premara taranga ananta Jivachara kahantara pai beka anta. Endless waves arise moment after moment in that ocean of love. How could an insignificant living entity estimate their limits? This is bringing joy, some feeling of joy in our hearts to hear these things. This is the love. This is the Lord. This is the Lord whom we are approaching. Such wondrous. But He also wants to embrace us. Otherwise, how is it possible that we're even hearing about Him? This is by His grace. He wants to embrace us. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Jaha Karena Asvadana Shabe Aka Jane Taha Swarupadigana. Only a person on the level of Swarup Damodar Goswami can fully know what Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tastes in his love for Krishna. And who is Swarup Damodar? He's Lalita Saki. And we have just now tried to worship and celebrate the appearance day of Lalita Saki, the day in a year before the appearance day of Śrīmati Radharani, and also hearing from Śrīla Guru Maharaj and Śrīla Gurudev about Lalita Saki and how merciful she is, how she is trying to bring the newcomers into the service, and who is her favorite? Śrīla Rūpa Goswāmī. So we are in the line of Rūpa Goswāmī. This is also inconceivable to us fully, but we have some appreciation. So in this mundane plane, we want to be significant based on something that is not even true about ourselves. And the material nature has a way of teaching us a very good lesson about that attitude. And no one has not felt the loving hand which is trying to teach us that this is the wrong way. This is cheating. It's not true. It's not sincere. We're taking untruth as truth and trying to bring that to the market to get something for it. This is 100% cheating. But here, we're hearing about our real position, and it is so lovely. Because we can worship and adore and feel the divine, loving reciprocation, not in a general way, but in a very personal way from the Lord. He is reciprocating with every one of us individually. He has a relationship with every living entity which is exclusive. So we are super hopeful of our happy divine life. Guru Maharaj said, we can never give up our happy dream of fulfillment in Krishna's service. But that fulfillment is a different type, a different quality, a different whole entity from any kind of so-called happiness that we've enjoyed by exploiting others in this world, which is wholly reprehensible. Jivahanya kare jeta hara varnana apana sodite tara chonya akakana. When an ordinary living entity describes the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he purifies himself by touching one drop of that great ocean. So this is a very wonderful thing to remember. If we can share something about this with others, then we are coming in touch with that substance in the form of extreme mercy. But we don't feel like that is the case with ourselves. If that is to be known by us or felt by us, that's again their business. But we are trying to please our Guru as far as we are able. E matara sera shloka shakala ipadila sheshe jala kelira shloka padite lagila. Thus all the verses about the Rasa Līlā dance were recited by Mahaprabhu. Then finally the verse concerning the pastimes in the water was recited. Tabir juta shraman apohitam angashanga grishte srajasa kuchak kunkumaranjitaya kandavapali biranudrita avishadva shanto gajibiriba rad iva bina shetu. As an independent leader among elephants enters the water with his female elephants, so Kṛṣṇa, who is transcendental to the Vedic principles of morality, entered the water of the Jamuna with the gopis. His chest had brushed against their breast, crushing his flower garland and coloring it with the red kumkum powder. Attracted by the fragrance of that garland, humming bumblebees followed Kṛṣṇa like celestial beings of Gandharva Loka. And they're not following anyone in this earthly planet like bumblebees singing the glories of our pastimes. In this way, Lord Kṛṣṇa mitigated the fatigue of the rasa dance. This verse is from the 10th canto of the Śrīmad Bhagavatam. E mata Mahāprabhu Brahmite Brahmite Aitota Haite Samudra Dekena Achambite. While thus wandering near the temple of Aitota, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu suddenly saw the sea. Chandra Kanje Uchalite Taranga Ujwala Jalamalakare Jena Jamunara Jala. Brightening the shining light of the moon, brightened by the shining light of the moon, the high waves of the sea glittered like the waters of the river Jamuna. All right, so we are going to stop here. Kind of went over time. So this is a good place to stop. This Haribol. And so we're also remembering that all of these pastimes are eternal. And by visiting these divine places, we can remember these divine pastimes there. And they're not passing away with the passage of material time. Haribol. Jai Shri Chaitanya Charitāmṛta ki Jai, Śrīla Krishna Das Kaviraj ki Jai, Śrīla Om Vishnupad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. Śrī Upadeśāmṛta ki Jai. Is that a message?
Yeah, that was a call.
Vacho Jai Śrīla Rūpa Goswāmī ki Jai. Haribol, Haribol, Haribol. We have to learn how to walk on our heads, where everything is of a higher quality than we. Vacho vegam manasa krodha vegam jiva vegam udaropasta vegam etan veganyo vishaheta dhira sarvam apimam prativim sasisyat. The 6
urges.
Atyahara prayasascha prajapo niyamagraha janasangascha loyam cha sadbir bhaktir vinashyati. And the 6 things which?
The 6 faults that destroy life.
Yes. Utsahan nischaya dharyat tatat karma pravartanat sangatyagat sato vritte sadhir bhakti prasidyati. And the 6?
The 6 qualities that nourish devotion.
Aye. Tadati pratigrahnati guhyam akyati pritchati punkte bojayate chaiva sadvidyam pratilakshanam.
The 6 different exchanges of love between the devotees.
Jai. Krishneti asya giritam manasadriyeta dikshasti chet pranati bisha pachantamisham shushrushaya bhajana vigyam mananyamanya nindari shunya hridam ipsita shangalabhya.
The different type of relationships with those who chant the holy name.
Very good. Drishtei svabhava janite vapushascha doshe na prakritatvam iha bhakta janasya pasyet gangam vasana kula buddha pena panker brahmadravatvam apagachati niradharmai. Number 6.
Do not consider devotees mundane because of their nature. And just like the Ganges water doesn't lose its spiritual nature because of the foam, mud, and bubbles.
Very good. Shya Krishna Nama Charitari Sitapya Vidya Pito Patapta Rasanasya Naro Chikanu Kinvadaramanudinam Kalusai Vajushta Sadvikramad Bhavati Tad Gadamulahantri. Number 7 is about the Pitopatapta, the jaundice, which is keeping a person from tasting the sweetness of sugar, but sugar is the cure. So the jaundice of ignorance is keeping us from tasting the sweetness of the holy name, but chanting the holy name offenselessly is the cure. Tannama rupa charitadi sukirtananu smrityo kramena rasana manasi niyojya tistan bhajeta anuragi jaganugami kalam nayeda kilam ityupadeshasaram. This is the essence of all instructions. Then now we have come here. Vaikuntaj janito vara madhupuri tatrapi rasotsavat vrindaramya udarapani ramana tatrapi govardhanha Radha kundam ihapiko kulapate premnamrita plavanat kuryadasya virajito giritate sevam vivekinakaha. Oh, yeah. And these are the gradations of the
planes of consciousness.
Yeah, of the Dham specifically. The Dham planes of rasa, different degrees of rasa. Yes.
What is Dham and what is its relationship with rasa?
So, according to rasa, one is the dhams are the different places. Guru Maharaj is using the word places, where Krishna has his relationships with his devotees. So there's gradation in that. And above Vaikuntha, the relationship between the devotees, or rasa, between the devotee, the taste, the relationships with the Lord in reverence and awe. That is one thing. But above that is the relationship where there is a parent, where Krishna took birth or appeared as a child, a baby. That's a deeper rasa. And above that, so many. Then there, above, there some are left out. But then above that is where Krishna had his rasa dance and so many things. So there are different degrees of rasa, or degrees of surrender, actually, in these different dhams. Or the dham means the divine place of Krishna's.
So according to the dham, the rasa.
Or more, according to rasa, the dham.
According to rasa, the dham.
But anyway, Krishna is manifesting himself in a certain way to reciprocate with those whose hearts really want to serve him in that mood. So they're all perfect. There's nothing wrong. They're all perfect. This is all beyond any flaw of matter, or any selfishness, or anything like that. Really, if you'd hear the descriptions in the Śrīmad Bhagavatam of the residents of Vaikuntha, and what to speak of the descriptions in the Brihad Bhagavatamrita, I mean, they're all wondrous, beyond wonder. But there is a deeper rasa. And so, what are we doing talking about that? Because Mahāprabhu came to describe the highest rasa and to invite us to that plane. He's giving entrance. So that, otherwise, what do we know about it? Nothing. we hardly even know anything about the heavenly planets. That's all described in the Bhagavatam. These different levels of the heavenly planet, and in the Bhagavata-Bhagavatamrita. But that's all mundane. It's full of illusion, for the most part. The Vasudeva conception is beyond the Brahman plane, which is... Anyways, there's so much gradation. But we're not even vaguely interested in the heavenly planets. That's a big detour. Not that I would be getting there anyway, but I'm just saying, would have no interest in it. Okay, so then, now, Karmibhya parito hare priyataya vyaktimya yurgyaninas tebhyo jnana vimukta bhakti parama premaika nishtastata tebhyasta pashupala pankaja dvishastabhyopi sararika preshta tadvariyam tadiya sharashitam nashrayeka kriti. More dear to Kṛṣṇa in all respects than performers of pious deeds, karma, are the knowers of Brahman, and more dear to them are devotees completely free from knowledge of Brahman. We're not considering that. That's like a background thing. More dear than them are devotees fixed exclusively in divine love. And more dear than them are the gopis. More dear than them is Sri Radhika. Her lake is similarly dear to Kṛṣṇa. What fortunate soul would not take shelter there? How could he be fortunate if he's not going to take shelter in that place? Or that's just another kind of angle of that. Jai. Continuing to read the holy words of Śrīla Bhakti's Rakak Śrīdhar Goswāmī Mahārāj. Jai, Śrīla Guru Maharaj Ki Jai.
Jai.
All right. So this is page 259 toward the bottom. Oh, please remind me. I have to go up to Sudarshan and get some more copies of this.
Okay.
I keep forgetting to do that. So Jñāna-Miśra-Bhakti is a marginal position. That is bhakti mixed with understanding. That is not a bad thing in our progress. Of course, we're trying to understand so many things, but beyond that, there's no examination of anything. So Jñāna-Miśra-Bhakti is a marginal position. In it, we have no special consideration for devotees. Everyone is equal to us, and we are both free from concern of loss and gain in the mortal plane, but also have not acquired affinity and affection for the land of devotion. So what is our position? We do have regard for the devotees. From the very, very beginning, by the grace of Mahāprabhu and the grace of his devotees, we are beginning our entire spiritual path with connection and adoration of the Vaiṣṇavas. But the plane of gradual progress in general will not come to that when it comes to Jñāna-Miśra-Bhakti. But we are automatically given this understanding of the extreme position of the Vaiṣṇava from the very beginning. When we come to the level of Jnana-Shunya Bhakti, we do not know why, but we find some taste in the service of Kṛṣṇa. And we do not care for anything else. We cannot understand why, because we are beyond the level of calculation and of loss and gain. Without any such calculation, we feel some automatic tendency toward the service of Kṛṣṇa. We find it very tasteful wherever we may be. We may be a Brahmin, we may be a Pandit, or we may be a fool. It does not matter. Through Vaiṣṇava Dharma, through Varnashram Dharma, good karma, we can gradually develop some adaptability. But Bhagavat Dharma, Vaishnavism, is not directly based on that adaptability created by the Varnashram Dharma. It is of another peculiar type. It is based on taste and not on intelligence, calculation, karma, or anything else. Its basis is ruchi, taste, which comes from Sukriti. In whatever position we are in, we may not be a Brahmin. We may even be a Chandala. But we can somehow collect a little bit of taste for the Līlā of Kṛṣṇa. And then with the help of that, come into the association of the sadhus and develop our taste for him further. Then we can have direct promotion toward the Lord. Anyone, be they mlecha or Brahmin, with Shraddha, ruchi, taste, and sadhu sangha, can go directly to Vaikuntha. Then they only need to find in their heart that they have some causeless attraction toward the Supreme Authority. Whereas a qualified Brahmin may have to go downward if he cannot develop a taste for Narayan. So that place of nasochati nakangshati, that may not be stable. But with Shraddha, with Sukriti, there's a connection which doesn't have to go through all the troubles to come to that plane. So the general description of Jñāna-Miśra-Bhakti is that it is not to do with the Vaishnavas. It is a plane of Jnāna, where one, by understanding, comes to a plane of real peacefulness. He's not disturbed by the waves of matter. He's not identifying with matter anymore. But the devotee, the Vaiṣṇava, by his Sukriti, is coming in touch with the sadhu. He's got some attraction. He's looking, and he's coming to the sadhu, and from there he's not going through so many stages. It is a direct thing. It's coming from attraction to the Vaiṣṇava, actually, and through the Vaiṣṇava some attraction for Kṛṣṇa. Yeah. Yes, sir.
When you say that is Sukriti, why the soul has some taste, and you also mentioned that the soul is also looking for the sadhu and the association. Do you mean
depending on his Sukriti, that can develop also.
Do we do that knowingly, or is that unknowingly? I guess my question is, do we know when our soul is looking for these things?
Well, you are the soul. There's no other part of you that can look for something. The soul is looking.
But for example, I consider that I was never looking for the association of a sadhu, for example.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like when I came in touch with the Vaishnavas, I wasn't looking for that.
No.
But probably my consciousness, my pure self was looking for
It's
that.
acting in the background, Sukriti. Sukriti is the development of good fortune from contact, from some kind of grace coming from a Vaiṣṇava. And at first it is not, we do not know. Like we've discussed this before, agyata Sukriti. We don't know that's happening. And that will develop actually, because it's giving good fortune, so more good fortune is going to come. But then it comes to a point where somehow or other, and of course we can't leave Kṛṣṇa out of this, and he's independent. So somehow or other we will develop some faith, some feeling of recognition of some high thing. Just like that voice that talked to you personally, in your case. He said something and he said, oh yes, I need to go there. There's some recognition, some feeling. It's a feeling, right? Oh yes, this is a place I need to go to. Otherwise, someone else will go, this guy's crazy, I don't want to talk to him. There's some recognition. This is called Sukriti. And even though you may not have, or I may not have, or anyone may not have been consciously going, I want to find Kṛṣṇa and his devotees. But there is something playing in the background that is giving us impetus in that direction. And when it comes, we recognize something. Oh yes, this thing. Yes, this thing I want. May not even be able to describe that right away. Like me having to go out preaching after I'd been in the temple for one day. I had to go out and preach. Can you imagine? Yeah, it's really great. Why don't you come over? It's the absolute truth. This is the absolute truth. It's like, oh great. Okay, I'll come. That was that potency of Śrīla Prabhupada. Like, he came home with us almost every day. So the Vaiṣṇava is giving Sukriti. And just knowing that is really hopeful, because, like for example, when people come to the temple, maybe they're coming for a few days, or maybe only once, or maybe twice, or maybe for a year, and then we don't see them anymore. And that used to really bother me. I mean, it was like, what happened? Did something happen? Was somebody not friendly enough? Was this, that? And I'd be in touch with them and have the thing and the whole list. But then I realized, no, this is really powerful Sukriti. That someone will know that such a thing exists. In the future, they will look for it. For sure. All the sequences of life will come and bring them back. And as it's brought us back, who knows how many times we've tried to, we've come in touch with devotees and kind of wandered away. And, as we are now, we're wandering away in the mind for a lot of the day or something like that. But eventually, it will really become a nishtha. Nishtha means steady, completely steady. When a person who has achieved the position of nishtha, he can't, when he takes a break, when he gets distracted, he feels it's a long, long time. Oh, what did I do? I forgot the Lord for, a minute or two. That kind of person. And so it's a lot of development. Did I stray from your question?
No. Okay. Even though my question wasn't formulated properly, you answered my question.
Okay. Yeah, it's not an easy question to ask, actually, because this is quite mysterious. In here, I'm reading this and I'm going, okay, what is it again? Because there's two different processes. Pantastukoti shatavatsara sampragamyo, that really very stringent, difficult, like really arduous attempt at individually, by my own strength, I will know everything, and I will come to the Brahma-bhūta plane. I will come to peacefulness on my own strength. Very difficult. Unbelievably difficult. And very few can even come to that plane after so long, many lifetimes. And so the general understanding of Brahma-bhūta prasanatma, there is no relationship to the Vaiṣṇava. And yet, the Vaiṣṇava will also come to that plane. But that will be automatic in his service to the Vaiṣṇava, the practitioner. Automatically he's coming. So this is two different kinds of roads to traverse. So, yeah, even if we're not looking, but there's some good fortune playing in the background. That's the main thing. And then also, in this verse about those who want nothing to do with Brahman, that is also something, meaning Brahman is will become the background. Because Brahman is truth, but it will be in the background. They're not interested in becoming absorbed in that. That becomes the background of their existence. They're not in mundane existence. But they have no particular, that's not a particular goal in their life. So that is what it means when it says they want nothing to do with Brahman. Or so, more dear than them are devotees free from the knowledge of Brahman. They're not paying attention to that. They're not going by the path of Gyan, knowledge of Brahman, and becoming absorbed there or hoping to. Jai Shishi Guru Chandra Giyaju Ki Jai. So it's not like they're like Brahman. We don't want that. It's not that. They don't want absorption in that. But that's always going to be there. Brahman is the basis of spiritual existence. So, gradually as Guru Maharaj says, we're going from chaos to cosmos. From chaotic thinking to very fine gradation of thinking. Very fine thinking. So mundane intelligence and the Muni Pungavan and those who are trying to understand everything, they have this big brain. That's also not necessary. But theistic intelligence we are to employ that. When Guru Maharaj said, you don't have to be intelligent, you don't have to be in the Brahmin class, you don't have to be anything. But they are also writing so many books for us to read and understand and help, and in the prayerful mood. That said, someone who has already come to the platform of some affection for the Lord, he doesn't he doesn't have to study books. He can take birth in any kind of situation. Gaura Das Babaji Maharaj, our great guru, our great-great-grandfather guru, couldn't read or write. And he was the guru of Śrīla Saraswati Ṭhākur. So the reason I'm talking about this is to understand these words that are being used carefully. But anyone in any situation can develop, can show love of God. But that will be probably, in most cases, after so many lifetimes of practice. And then they can take birth and not know how to read or write. It doesn't matter. It doesn't make any difference. He could be selling fish. It doesn't make any difference at all. So, Haribol. But anyway, in any case, when Śrīla Prabhupada, I know we're going over time now, I'll just stop now, but Śrīla Prabhupada, when each volume of the Śrīmad Bhagavatam, or any volume was being published, of any book, Prabhupada would always say, read them. I'm not publishing them for nothing. I want my devotees to read these books. So many things, Jai.
From chaos to cosmos.
From chaos to cosmos. Our thinking is so chaotic.
Yes.
Many branched. As Krishna says in the Gita, those who are looking for mundane enjoyment, their intelligence is all over the place. Well, I'll do this for that, and then I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to, this is the mode of passion. And then for this, I'm going to employ this ideal, and then that over here, I'm going to do that. And he has no actual integrity. He's just doing this for that and that for that, and he's all over the place. He can't find any overarching reality in his life. Chaos. What to speak of the mode of ignorance? Can't even make a plan. I just need to sleep and eat whatever I want and do as little as I can and die. Horrible.
Gopal Govindaram Śrīmatī Śrīlekha
Haribol Jai Sapadika Shri Guru Gaur Chandra Ju Ki Jai. Jai Shri Giriraj Govardhan Ju Ki Jai. Jai Vaiṣṇava Paramhamsa Parivrajaka Ashtatersata Shri Śrīla Bhakti Sundar Govindadev Goswāmī Mahārāj Ki Jai. Jai Vaiṣṇava Paramhamsa Parivrajaka Ashtatersata Shri Śrīla Bhakti Śrīdhar Goswāmī Mahārāj Ki Jai. Śrī Rupa Nuga Guru Varga Ki Jai. Śrī Chaitanya Saraswat Madhacharya Vrinda Ki Jai. Jai Namacharya Śrīla Haridas Ṭhākur Ki Jai. Sad Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Saparshad Sriman Mahāprabhu Ki Jai. Saparshad Shri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Radha Kṛṣṇa Gopa Gopinatha Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Ki Jai. Tadiya Shaka Mat Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mission Ki Jai. Shri Ekadashi Ki Jai. Ekadashi Devi Ki Jai. Ekadashi Titi Ki Jai. Very happy day, Ekadashi. Hari Bol, and the day before Vamandeva's appearance day and Śrīla Jiva Goswami Prabhu's appearance or disappearance, I forget. So tomorrow, and then of course Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākur, and Haridas Ṭhākur, very many beautiful diamonds still to come. Kolkartal Ki Jai, Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Samaveda Vaiṣṇava Mandala Ki Jai, Samaveda Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai, Śrīmatī Tulsi Devi Ki Jai, Nittai Gaur Premanandi Haribol Jai Gurudev Ki Jai.
We are very fortunate today to have the association of the following devotees.
Excuse me.
Divya Shakti Didi, that we're going to see very soon. Bimala Krishna Prabhu, Lavanya Didi, and Jagannath Priya Prabhu. And then Q is asking, have you received my...
I got that this morning, Q. Thank you. It must have come yesterday, but it was in the mailbox this morning. So very happy. And what about you? Did you receive your books?
He says, do you know how long it takes? Do you know how long it takes mail to get from California to Utah, please? And then he asked about the $15.
Oh, no, I don't know really. But yeah. Okay. Haribol.
Haribol.
Jai Gurudev, Jai Guru Maharaj Ki Jai.